than I do.
I say, so are there any steps NENSA is taking going forward to introduce the sport to communities of color or continue these conversations? I mean, I can address that. I think one of the big or the first step is to have these conversations. And Lyndon and I were kind of discussing that maybe we'd form a little bit of a document with some resources for people that NENSA could maybe publish that has some good like definitions and just good resources for people to stay up to date on what's going on. And as far as just steps that NENSA is taking going forward, I'm sure that Justin might have a few things to say about that. But
yeah, absolutely. We've come up with, again, I'm going to defer back to our Amy's letter, but coming up with a diversity and inclusivity policy, trying to make NENSA, I really truly believe we do try and make NENSA a welcoming environment, but trying our very best to do that as best we can. And then having an initiative to have more opportunities, which we're learning, right? This is the place where we're learning for Black, Indigenous, and people of color. How can we do that where our locations we can work there, and it might be economic as well as race there. And we have the Nordic Rocks program, and how do we build upon that and just make sure that we make our community as inclusive as we can. Really, that's the goal. And having you guys here and having this conversation, and also trying to highlight, I really want to show that video of Robel skiing the Olympics for you guys, but if we don't watch it right now, we're certainly going to share it over social media in the next couple of days. But yeah, for me, I'm learning just like you guys are, and we're just trying to do the best we can. And it's so awesome to see. We were talking about this earlier as well. Throughout our community, at least what we see outwardly, how this is embraced in a really important discussion to be having. And we're just at the beginning of it, and it's brought about by our recent popular events, but it's certainly something we all realize that we can do better. So
yeah, and I think it's important to keep the conversation going as well. Yeah.
I just want to mention one quick program that at least CSU is doing. It's called the YES program, Youth Enrichment Services. This past year was only every Thursday, but usually every Monday and Thursday, we have kids from areas that around Boston that wouldn't really at all have any interaction with skiing. Maybe if they stumbled across it on YouTube or something, but they wouldn't have even known it existed. And I think even our first year skiers to all the way to our fifth year skiers, we all sign up and we show up and we get to play with the kids, teach them how to ski. And I think it's really cool how I think maybe not this past Bill Koch Festival, but 2 Bill Koch festivals ago, we had some kids participate in that. And I thought it was just an amazing, I think they had a fantastic time being in the environment of a Bill Koch festival. I think most of the people watching this have gone to one, and it's so much fun and such an experience. And I think that's just a good example of how we as CSU are making skiing more accessible on a longer term scale. And maybe if other clubs can inquire about that, I'm not really sure how we can apply that to other clubs in other areas, but I just thought that was an amazing thing that I had to give some credit to. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's certainly initiatives happening in other areas than Boston. So it's very heartening to see our community embracing this.